Hey everybody, it's Luke D, and this is Biology 1 2013, and this is Molecular Biology of Thought. And I know we haven't gone into thought yet much. We talked about it just a little bit when we were talking about diffusion and how serotonin has to diffuse across the synaptic cleft. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, remember the two nerves I drew on the board? We were talking about how molecules went from one side of that cleft to the other. Anyway, this talk is going to be specifically just on our good friend, the methyl group. So if you look up here, you have a methyl group. A methyl group has 3 hydrogens on it. And it looks like this by itself. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at it. Let's go ahead and look at it here in first glance. So I'm going to show you some of these scripts one more time, just to make sure that you can do these by yourself. So what I did was I Googled first glance and then the word JMOL, J-M-O-L, and then I found a PDB file for propane and I downloaded it and then I opened it in first glance. So now I'm going to play with this a little bit just to make it a little bit clearer what it looks like. So we are going to turn spacefill off. So actually, let's just cut that down to about 50. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and wireframe like 20. Okay, and there we have a pretty good idea of what this molecule looks like. You can see it's kind of got a zigzag going there. And you're going to see that anytime you have a bunch of carbons attached to each other. And then at the top we have a pure methyl group here, CH3, and then at the bottom here we're going to have a methyl group again. Now this methyl group is actually really important for many reasons. One of the main reasons it's going to be important later is that we're going to see that if you put one of these on top of DNA, you can't read it anymore. And if you can't read DNA anymore, you can't make genes. You can't make proteins from genes. But like I said, that's later. So let's see how this thing acts now. Okay, so we're in Adam Smith now. And since we're talking about biology, almost all of biology happens in water. Not all of biology happens in water. We have some things that happen in the membrane and some things that happen around specific proteins that actually happen in kind of like oils. And then don't forget there's a big problem with fat in the US, and so all that chemistry happens not in water. So let's go ahead and add a few water molecules to this. Water. And let's go with 10. See if we can make it not mad. Oh, we're not mad. Great. Let's run the simulation and see what we get. Let's turn on all the forces so that we can see what's going on here. Alright, now you see we have dispersion between the two groups, but you should notice a pattern. I don't know if I'm actually looking at this on your screen, but you should notice a pattern with the water and the cyclohex, or the propane. And let's see if that same pattern holds at high temperature. So we're at 1,000 degrees Kelvin. And then let's see what happens at a low temperature. Let's drop down to 100 Kelvin. So just so you know, this is something like 173 degrees below zero. 173 degrees below zero, yeah. Okay, so let's just pause this and take a look at what's going on in there. So you can see the water here. You can see the dipole in the water there. And you should know what that is. And if you don't, you need to talk to me. You can see, do you see any dipoles here? And you see dispersion forces interacting between this and this. And we see that at 100 degrees, there's kind of a unique arrangement of the water and the propane. So that should give you a good idea of what's going on there. So that's it for methane. I'll see you later for carboxylic acid.